That was Debbie Gutierrez, folks. Debbie Gutierrez. And now another favorite here at the Ice House and comedy clubs and on TV shows, Jason Stewart. Jason Stewart, come on down. Jason. Hi, Jason.
I never liked Amy. I absolutely adored her. And what's interesting about Amy is that I would work periodically here at the Ice House, and I met her here. And I'm so self-involved, I don't really remember when I met her, honestly. And, you know, she was my travel agent. And though I'd see her here and we'd hang up, you know, and talk and stuff, and she was always nice and everything. And, you know, and I'm hearing, you know, we had absolutely nothing in common. You know, she liked Dave Matthews, I liked Barbra Streisand. You know, she liked baseball, I liked indie films. You know, she talked to people and I didn't. She was nice, I'm not. You know, there was nothing. And that's what I love about comedy, honestly. That's one of the things I love about comedy is I see all of you, and some of you I haven't seen for years, and I'm seeing you now. And I would call on the phone and say, hey, I got a gig, and she would start to talk, and then she would talk more, and she would talk more, and she'd tell me stories and tell her things about her life, and I would want to get off the phone, you know. And after a while, I'd realize that that just was not going to happen. So I would call her on the phone, and when I would call her to do my travel, I would take time, and I'd say, this is the time that I get to talk to her, and I started to really enjoy it. And I started to really enjoy speaking with her and asking about her life, and she told me about her and her husband, and I told her that I was alone and sad. And then I had no one, and she would set me gigs, you know, she would set up my gigs and set up my travel and in cars and all that kind of stuff. And she actually made me feel like I was important. And, you know, for years I'd have friends say, why don't you just go online and get your travel? I said, no, I got Amy. And I would not let go of her. And I actually spoke to her on the phone 2 weeks before she passed away. And she never mentioned it. She never mentioned she was doing bad. I said, I'm going to take a trip, and I've got a trip for a thing in December. And she never mentioned it. And we chatted, you know, like we always did. And she did, I don't think she wanted anybody to know. And I always had the, you know, I always knew when she wasn't feeling well, because she'd say I was going to be gone for a little while. And she was somebody, when I'd heard about it, I was just so, I called Bob and I left a long, weird message, I'm sure, that he thought was completely inappropriate. And I called and spoke to Jan, and he was nicer. And then I called and spoke to Jeff, who I you know, barely know, because I don't talk to straight men that much. And we had a lovely conversation, and that's what happens in life. When you're in comedy and you're in show business, you get to meet people that you wouldn't necessarily get to talk to. You get to have experiences that you wouldn't necessarily get to have. And I will treasure her being in her life. She went too soon. I know her spirit is someplace. I haven't figured out where it's gone, because I didn't go to college, but I just want to say to her mom, you know, you raised a beautiful daughter. God bless you. You know. That doesn't, whenever I go out with somebody, I always say, do you talk to your parents? And that means a lot. It really does. You raised a beautiful daughter. To her family and to Jeff, you know, my hat is off to all of you. My heart is with you. Thank you very much.